Autonomy is an illusion. Autonomy is an illusion.
And welcome into possibly the end of season 1 of Fans of the Weast. Maybe not.
Maybe.
But for the time being, at least, this is episode 22 with your hosts,
Derf
and Dylan. We got ourselves a Super Bowl coming up, obviously, in what is it? We say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. In 4 days, we will have the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
And it all comes down to this. Once again, it's just the 1 seeds in the Super Bowl. I mean, we all love the underdogs, and the underdogs usually win a couple of games, and it's a lot of fun. And then it just seems like almost every time, it just ends up being the first seeds anyways. Maybe like a second seed sneaks in there, but it's just like it all uneventfully comes to just like, yep, the best teams are there. That's how it's supposed to be. Here they are. So we got the Cheifs and the Eagles. And before we get to that, just want to give you this, since this might end up being the last episode, at least for like a little while, end of season 1, before we head into like the off season and other garbage like that. Derf is having himself an event. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
just a little one, tiny event.
Times 2.
Times 2. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a tiny double event.
A literal, the event itself is massive, but the things that come out of the event are tiny, and there's 2 of them, and it's nothing but stress moving forward. Yeah. In case this is the first episode of Fans of the Weast that you're listening to, Derf's having twins.
Yes, I am.
And you don't know genders or names or nothing. Like, you're just kind of like...
Nope.
Y'all are just going with it.
Yeah, we're a couple. Obviously a handful of names in the works, but
That was
obviously we don't
my
know
next
gender,
question.
So
Do you have some names depending on the genders that pop out?
kind of, yeah.
Okay.
But it's gonna be kind of like oh, they're here. Okay, what are we gonna name them?
Because they ask you kind of quick. Like, they're like, hey, here they are. What are their names? Let's go.
Right.
Paperwork time.
I mean, yeah, but I know some people take a week or two. Sometimes parents take weeks to name their baby because they don't know the name. They don't know what fits the baby. I'm like, that just seems a little odd. But
I didn't think they let you leave the hospital without a name. Like, people stay in the hospital for a week?
No, I don't think so.
I thought you had to have that filled out.
Unless these are people that have the birth at home or not non-hospital births, maybe.
That would make more sense.
But yeah, so it looks like they could be soon, but
okay,
we shall see. Exciting times. So obviously, I'm my hands full once they're born. So
literally, hands full, both of them.
Literally, because both of them.
Dear God, right here. Carrying them right there.
But yeah, I'm excited. A little nervous, more excited, but yeah, things are coming, and so it might take me away from the podcast for a little bit. But obviously, we're hitting the perfect time of the year for being off season, so
we appreciate the wife waiting. Until we can wrap up the podcast like this. We appreciate that,
right.
So give her my thanks, all that good jazz. So courteous of her to just hang on there for one more week. Yeah.
What a team player.
Yeah, she's amazing. So the content moving forward will be sporadic. I got some ideas for dropping content just on social media in general, whether there's actual episodes. Not sure yet, but maybe live streams, whether it's just me whether Derf joins in, stuff like that. There might be episodes here and there. We just take live stream stuff and drop it as episodes. Socially, obviously, just stay up on Twitter. Everything's always on Twitter, whether it's going to be announcing we're going to be doing something or just like random like crap, tweets, videos, polls, stuff like that. Very active on Twitter. It's a lot of fun. Until Elon Musk makes me start paying for it, I will keep using it. That's basically the. Well,
I mean, I was gonna say. Speaking of Twitter, was Twitter down today?
Apparently, I mean, I was at work when it went down, so I didn't notice. But
yeah, so I wasn't on Twitter when it was supposedly down, but I saw like someone tweeted like at the time that Twitter's been down, it was a bunch of NFL news.
Right. Here's what happened when Twitter was down. Yeah.
Right.
You could have fooled me. I didn't know it was down. So
yeah.
And apparently, I saw after one of the updates because I saw someone couldn't follow anyone anymore. They capped his followers. So I don't know if that's like a bot prevention tool they put in there. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. They threw in a little follower cap.
Everybody.
So Elon Musk is dropping the hammer on some folks here on Twitter.
Yeah.
Platform still works fine for me. I don't see any problems with it, so I'm okay. Everyone's complaining about Twitter. I don't have a problem with it. I'm okay.
Right.
So that's basically going to be Derf and Dylan moving forward until we can get some kind of routine figured out, or having twins is a very stressful thing.
Yeah.
You cannot predict.
There's a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
Yeah, and it's first kids too. Like this isn't just like, you had one and now we're having twins. Like, no, this is first time around.
No. First time around, we got 2 to go.
Is there going to be another round after the twins?
Probably not.
I know that's looking very far ahead. So pressure there.
Ironically, I looking into some procedures after the kids are here. And apparently it's like a year wait right now.
Is it really?
For guys, yeah. I was like,
wow.
Wait, what?
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Because they always say like it's a super fast thing. So why is there a year-long wait for something that's like that easy?
So I think there's something to do with like birth control changing and whether it's going to become illegal or not or something. Whoa. Because, the whole Roe v. Wade thing that happened last year. That's, I think, having an effect on it. So, for some reason, there's this mass amount of guys going to get vasectomies, and it's like,
wow,
okay, but yeah. The plan is to only have these 2 and go from there. So, we'll see what happens. But
hey, it makes it easy. 1 trip to the hospital, you got 2. Like you're just good to go now. So. Other people got to wait 3 years and then go again. Like that's just a pain in the ass. Let's just 2 right here, right now. So obviously we'll all be thinking of Derf, and I'll be sure to give live updates, on Twitter. So you just give me the play-by-play, and I can push those out.
The play-by-play and push the updates out on Twitter.
Yep. It'll be like live tweeting Seahawks or Bills games. Like that's what we're gonna be doing. It's like we're entering hour 3. The nurse just came in for another checkup. So that'll be fun. But we'll all be thinking of you. It'll be fine. It'll be a fun. It's an experience. It'll be grand.
Oh yeah.
It'll be something you'll never forget. That's for sure. It's one of those life-changing events.
Yep, definitely.
So, soak it all in. Mm-hmm. But to wrap up episode 22 and season 1 in a nutshell, just got some general Wow. There we go. I hit a button on accident. My finger hit my keyboard. Stream is not ending. So, some general Pro Bowl talk, just because we want to, I feel like we have differing opinions here, but I feel like I have to change my opinion a little bit up too. I have questions about the Pro Bowl, and then Super Bowl discussion real quick. A little bit of talk about that. Get some predictions out there for the Super Bowl, and then wrap up the show. So first and foremost, Geno Smith is they didn't give a Pro Bowl MVP out for the flag football game, but come on. It was Geno Smith, right?
I mean, he did throw an interception, but he did play pretty well.
The dude threw 5 touchdowns?
Yeah, it was something ridiculous like that. Yeah.
And I watched his highlights, like watched the 5 touchdown throws. Like they were good throws too. A couple of them, the receivers made more moves than he did, like a good throw. But like overall, I feel like he had himself. I feel like he played himself up to a higher contract amount in the flag football game. Like before, he was at like 32 to 34 mil. I think he's pushing 40 mil after his Pro Bowl performance. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
That's a joke. But the NFC did beat the AFC in the flag football match. Was there an overall point system for this, like the Pro Bowl in general? I feel like I saw, because I watched so little of this Pro Bowl, so I think I saw something where it's like the AFC is leading the NFC, but the flag football game counts as 6 points, so like they could tie it or something. It's like what happened? What's going on with that?
That was the first game, and it was probably the second game also. Because there was different games had different point values for each conference to accumulate. And then I'm pretty sure the way I saw it, the third game, that was the final game of the Pro Bowl games, they literally started with the overall scores as the opening score of the game, of the third game. So I think it was like 21-15. I want to say it was 21-15 AFC. And then the NFC just said, watch me do my thing.
Watch me win.
Yeah. And the NFC just kind of put the beat down on the AFC. But, yeah. That was the overall point score thing. But, yeah.
I mean, it's an interesting way of doing it. I mean,
right.
Overall, they completely overhauled this whole thing. I mean, this is like a whole.
Oh yeah.
It's not like they just added new events and they just turned it into flag football. Like they didn't just like play a flag football game. They because they broke up all the different competitions. It's kind of like what I watched a lot of the NHL Skills Challenge, and like bounced around from event to event. Like they would do like the golf hockey thing and like take a shot and then go to like the speed skating and then come back to the golf and do this and do that, and they bounced around all over the place. I guess that's kind of what the Pro Bowl did too. You know, they have like a couple of different events, like the gridiron stuff, and then like the first flag football game, and then go do some other stuff, and then like the second flag football game, do some other stuff. So it was definitely not, there was not a whole lot of downtime. So, I mean, general opinion of just the formatting, like did you like it?
So I didn't get to see a ton of it. I kind of watched the first flag football game and then decided to do some grocery shopping. So I kind of missed a bunch of the in-between games. Came back to the best catch game, and then saw part of the third flag football game. Just as we were kind of like getting stuff ready for dinner and all that stuff around the house, it was on, but I wasn't really paying a ton of attention to it. Just the way the NFC kind of took control and didn't slow down. So I think looking back and seeing some highlights, I kind of like the overall layout of everything for the Pro Bowl games. I think it kind of helps make it more intuitive, I guess, for some fans. I think for people, especially for a younger generation, they might not understand what the Pro Bowl used to be, and kind of like being, oh, let's see so-and-so, let's see them play an actual NFL game with a bunch of random people. Like, no, let's play some kind of backyard style football, kind of try and keep it light and keep it fun. And just let everyone have a good time, and kind of keep it going from there. So that's kind of like what I thought for overall wise. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's two different people. There's the people that were like, yeah, this was a lot more fun and kind of made more sense. Because before it was just like they're playing a football game, but they're not really. Like they're barely even able to tackle each other. So
Yeah, and it was such a short field too, and the way the downs were, it was weird.
Yeah. So they get rid of all this garbage and they just turn it into like, instead of trying to be so serious about this, let's just make it fun. And that's all they
Mm-hmm.
did. Everything was just about having fun. And so you have two different kinds of people. You got the people that are like, yeah, cool. It's not serious anymore. It's just like kind of easy watch, whatever. It is what it is. It's kind of fun. It's like I had a good time. Good job, NFL. You did it. And then you have people like Josh Jacobs. And Josh Jacobs just came out straight. It was just said, just like, this shit's stupid. Like, that's what he said. He says, this is dumb as hell. So I was like, those are your two parties. And at the beginning of all of this, I was on Josh Jacobs' side. I was just like we're really having like NFL players go out and play flag football. Like we're just doing all these weird games, and I don't know. It just kind of felt like they were desperate to try something to get viewership back. And I thought my thought was this is just a poor attempt, and this should just basically shouldn't exist anymore. I kind of changed my opinion a little bit after watching the flag football and like how they did it, having like the three different games. You'd got the different skill players out there each time, like they rotated in and out the starters and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I thought that was more fun than I thought it was going to be. I didn't watch a lot of it. I barely watch anything for the most part.
Yeah.
But just like I watched a lot of highlights. I watched a little bit of the third game. It's like, okay, this ain't bad. I think this is kind of cool. And I watched the best catch, which was like our third point here was like the best catch was a complete letdown. They tried doing it slam dunk contest style from the NBA. I don't know why you would copy something else that's dying. Like,
right.
Because the slam dunk contest hasn't been good in years. So why are you trying to like imitate that? Best part of the best catch competition was the judges and Pete Davidson throwing up a 69 for the score for Stephon Diggs. They're asking for Pete Davidson's score, and he like gave Amon-Ra St. Brown like a 91, and they're like, only a 91? He's just like, I don't know. What am I doing here? I don't know anything about this stuff. You told me to be here. I don't know what I'm doing.
Right.
That was my favorite part of the entire thing. Like just Pete Davidson just admitting like I shouldn't even be here. I don't know what's happening. But I feel like overall they got a little something here. I think you refine it, make the games a little bit more interesting because they threw in a lot of different things. Like you had like the offensive lineman and the defensive lineman there with the thing where they gotta get the weights off of their poles, and then they like get the five of them and they like drag the first down markers and they gotta pull the sled.
Yep.
Like they got some cool stuff. So I'm ready for next year's Pro Bowl, and I will sit down and like try to watch most of it because I think they got something here, and I was proven wrong, and I think this actually could be interesting. I never thought I was going to come on here and be like, yeah, I was wrong. Here we are. So you win, NFL bastards. I mean, like what? Like Diggs was just a complete letdown in that best catch.
And I don't even think it was completely his fault though. Like it's kind of similar to like the slam dunk contest and the home run derby. Like you pick someone good to throw the ball to you, not your relative or your brother or whatever who doesn't know how to throw a pass because he's always intercepting footballs. Like there was an issue there, like with that one I had. I had an issue with it, and effort was there, but I think they did as much as they could to try to keep it as light as possible and still have fun. And like Diggs almost had a couple good blindfolded catches. I was surprised, and but obviously some refinement, I think, overall. But from what the Pro Bowl was a couple years ago, I think this is much better.
I think I even saw that they like went up 6% from last year's Pro Bowl in viewership. So they did something.
Not surprised. Yeah,
they did something that piqued the interest of some people. Congratulations to the NFL. You managed to at least head in the right direction. Does this year's format help or hurt the Pro Bowl in the future? Yeah, like we just said, went up 6% in viewership. From what I saw on social media, most people were pleased with the format. I didn't see it. I definitely saw more people than not saying they were also pleasantly surprised by the Pro Bowl format. So, yeah,
Right.
I think they did the right thing. I think whatever they did, all the conversations they had, I think they succeeded. Pro Bowl has a dimly lit future. Like, they didn't blow the candle out. It's still there. So we'll see how they do it moving forward.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But the Pro Bowl is over. It's done. It's gone. That means we can officially move on to the worst week in football, Media Week. My
yes.
God, this is just
it's terrible.
What someone asked Nick Sirianni if this is a must-win game. I kind of feel like he asked that sarcastically. I feel like you have to. Like some kid got in there and just is like, I'm gonna make it funny right here. Watch this, guys. Is this a must-win game? Like, make something stupid. One reporter went in there and asked said Jalen Hurts. Yeah, I didn't think you guys were gonna be in the Super Bowl, so I just wanted to apologize. It's an interesting flex, but okay. I just seeing all these different highlights of out of the media week. It hasn't been great, and it's always just the most cringeworthy event in all of football.
Yeah, it's like this is the week where you thought they couldn't dig any deeper to find the most random stats and the random storylines. It's like, nope, this is the week they go there.
Yeah, like anything you can ask is apparently just fair game. Is the Super Bowl a must-win game? If that's allowed to be asked without you being removed from the premises afterwards,
right?
Then it's just I would rather have like 6 preseason games than have to watch like media week before the Super Bowl. It's just it's so bad.
Yeah.
And I think who was it? It was one of the Eagles players, I believe. Someone asked him a question about, media week in general. He's just like, yeah, I think this is just absolutely horrible. Like, we could have just flown in like a normal game, like on Friday or Saturday, and just prepped and done anything more productive than this. It's like, there it is. Yeah, he's got it. I forgot who it was. I was like, yep, he's absolutely right. But nope, they gotta make all the money and time and do everything they can out of the suckest soul out of everyone before the Super Bowl. I feel like it's more of like a mental challenge for the players, You think they do this on purpose to like mess with the players? Like, I'm going to put them in front of cameras for like a week and a half just to mess with them. Like, you think that's like a hidden intention? I don't know.
Probably.
It's a big stage. Especially if you got like a rookies in there. I'm trying to think of... Mm-hmm. Between the Eagles and the Cheifs, there's not like a whole lot of like rookies I can think of.
So I think the Chiefs. I know you have Pacheco.
You got Pacheco
and Karlaftis.
Mm.
And
Devonta Smith is McDuffie. Yep, he's the corner.
Yep.
Devonta Smith's the second year, right?
I think so, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
And because the Eagles didn't have a first-round pick this year because they got A.J. Brown.
A.J. Brown. I'm sure they have their fair share of rookies. I just don't know any of them.
I'm sure they have. So, yeah.
That's a lot of attention and stuff for rookies. It seems like the Chiefs have a little bit harder time of dealing with that than the Eagles, at least based off of my memory. So that's tough. So for the Super Bowl, we got the Eagles, who pretty much stick to the same game plan. They just know they're a good team, and they just stick to their playbook, and they run you over and do their thing. They do their play action. You never know what's going to happen, but it's a very strict offense that runs very efficiently. And then you have the Chiefs, who we've seen go through many offensive, their offense struggles at times, but they're so explosive. Like, they can turn anything around in a blink of an eye. They could just go on a drive where it's like 4 straight passes to Kelce and then like a Patrick Mahomes touchdown run, and it's just like, oh shit, what just happened? And now the Chiefs are back. And then they have like all their trick plays. Like, this is just what the Chiefs are, and I think the battle between these two teams is gonna be exciting. I think you couldn't ask for a better Super Bowl matchup than this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason why both these teams were the one seed in the playoffs, and yeah, this is uh this is going to be a very interesting game. I think with the explosive Chiefs, how much can this Chiefs team really disrupt the Eagles to not let them be just kind of steady and just kind of going about the day and following the playbook and having everything work out. And it's going to be, I think it's going to be really interesting to see what that chemistry is on the field is between the two teams and see what changes and whatnot. And I think one thing I really do want to see for the Chiefs is I really want to see, do they bring the ring around the Rosie play back? Or is there another special play like that they have that Andy Reid's got drawn up for the Super Bowl because of because of it being a Super Bowl? Like I want to see that.
I feel like you have to bring out something different. Like if you do the ring around the rosy thing again,
Right.
I feel like it's bold. Like you're doing it twice in one season. I feel like that's more bold than doing it in the Super Bowl. But if they pulled out something different that was like similar to that, like I would love to see them like all line up in a straight line like we saw like Michigan do a long time ago, and then they like break out. Like if they do stuff like that, that'd be really fun. Because they definitely have it within their wheelhouse, and they have the confidence to do that kind of stuff. We've seen them do stuff like that many times before.
Right.
It almost seems like they do something weird like that at least once a season. So it wouldn't. I don't feel like it would be shocking to be like, oh wow, look, they did some weird shit. Like, well, that's just Andy Reid. that's the Chiefs for you. That's just kind of what they do. Keeps the defense on their toes. Keeps the momentum rolling on the offense, kind of gives them a little spark, like, ooh, that was fun. Let's go score a touchdown now. Like, I really feel like that's how it works sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, you do a little merry-go-round thing. Wee, look at us. Aha, all right, now we're going to score. It's like, just to embarrass you because we scored on a merry-go-round play. Like, technically, they did score on that play. It was just, it was called back for, like, holding or something.
Yeah, it was called back for the flag on the play. But it was a touchdown, technically.
It did work. So
it does work.
The real question, I guess, heading into this is I was surprised because there was an update today that Andy Reid even said that Patrick Mahomes isn't quite 100%. I was fully expecting him to just lie and be like, yeah, he's ready to go. Like, why? Why wouldn't he be okay? Like, it's just what a stupid question. No, he said like he's not quite 100%, but he can run the playbook to almost. Like, it was like such a non-confident answer. It was wild. He's like he can run like most of the plays. He's not 100%. It's just like what? Like it was like he was like confident they'll be fine, but not like I wish he just wasn't hurt at all, because apparently he is still hurt a little bit. So how much can the ankle really heal? I feel like with a high ankle sprain like that, like we talked about it last week, if he has that injury in week 4, he's out 4 or 5 weeks. That's like that kind of injury, especially as bad as it was. Like he took he had a massive roll up. It's amazing his leg didn't snap, because Tony Pollard, like the same thing happened to him, and his whole leg snapped. So it's amazing that didn't happen to Patrick. He would have been out like a month and a half or longer in the regular season, and here he is playing in the Super Bowl. How long ago was it that he had this injury?
3 weeks.
Yeah, so that's barely enough time to heal. So how much is this going to affect? We saw the Eagles get to Brock Purdy in the 49ers game. I know Patrick's more elusive than Brock Purdy, but maybe not on that bum ankle, and that might play a big factor in this game coming up.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the ankle definitely seemed like it was affected quite a bit in the Bengals game, but he was able to move around enough. But obviously, Patrick Mahomes put himself on the line. on that final drive to kind of just get the job done. So hopefully there was no more damage to the ankle with the sprain. After that, hopefully he rested it for 2 weeks, and hopefully there's some healing happening on. But he would have had to probably gone pretty heavy on treatment the last 2 weeks to give the Chiefs a good shot. Little surprised, like you said, with Andy Reid not being 100% confident with Patrick Mahomes, injury status. Maybe as Andy Reid playing games with Nick Sirianni a little bit, you get the Eagles thinking, "Oh, we're gonna sack him 5 million times," and next thing you know, Patrick Mahomes is evading 2 defensive linemen and hits Travis Kelce for a 30-yard slant in the end zone. Like,
that's true.
The Eagles could get a little aggressive in this situation, but I think it's going to be I think the Chiefs will be a little hindered with Patrick Mahomes' ankle, but I don't think it should affect them too much as a whole.
Yeah, we saw the Eagles defense make the game-ending play when they won the Super Bowl against the Patriots when Nick Foles was there. Tom Brady's about to go on his game-winning drive, and they're like, no, sack, fumble, ended the Super Bowl right then and there.
Yeah.
If by the fourth quarter, Patrick Mahomes has the ball in his hands, we might get a repeat. He can't quite evade somebody, sack, fumble. Like, that would be crazy if something like that happened. If he just couldn't get away that one last time, and it would end the Super Bowl and the Eagles win 2.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna. Oh my God, I don't know if I can handle it though. Like forever, the Seahawks won their Super Bowl, and I was able to take it to my family and my friends who are Eagles fans and be like, "Ha ha, we have a Super Bowl now, and you don't." And then they're like, "Hey, watch this. Now we have 1 Super Bowl each." And here they are again. I don't think I could deal with it if they have 2 Super Bowls and the Seahawks only have 1. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's gonna be unbearable.
I mean, at least you guys each have 1.
Yeah. Bills fans are just living under their bridge. No rings. down by the river in a van.
Oh yeah.
So I think the biggest thing that we have to talk about with the Super Bowl is the script being leaked. Like, this is a storyline that has been taking over the internet.
The amount of memes about the NFL script has been so much.
Yeah. Like, I have to like shout out the PFT commander from, I believe he's part of Barstool. He did that interview with Arian Foster, and they talked about the script, and then like sarcastically he asked Arian Foster about like, did you guys just like get the script in your locker at the beginning of the season? And Arian's just like, yeah, we would get it, read it over, and then have some practices about how in this situation what we should be running, and how like they go on about this for a while about like sarcastically, like, but not, they didn't sound sarcastic, but it was all a joke about
right.
how everything's scripted. Some idiots took it seriously, and they're like, see, he just said it, and they're idiots. And then everyone else is like retweeting that video with their own things, like the Bills reading their scripts 4 seasons in a row in the late 90s. And it's like a gif of them just like crying. And another one is Alex Smith reading his script for when he comes back to play the whoever they play when he broke his leg. I forgot.
Oh, the Commanders.
Yeah.
I mean, Washington football team, I think, at the time.
So I mean, just like reading all of those were absolutely hilarious. And then this image pops up, and it's the Super Bowl score. Eagles win 37-34. And it like shows the box score. It shows a couple other things, but that's the final score. So with this script in mind, who do you have winning the Super Bowl? Because I'll tell you right now, if the first quarter box score was the Chiefs go up 10-0, If the end of the first quarter, the Chiefs are up 10-0, I'm not watching it. I'm turning it off. I'm not doing it. Like I'm not. Like I swear to God. Like I don't believe the script stuff. But like I
Right.
swear, if they go up 10-0 at the end of the first, I'm not even watching it. I'm done. I'm done right there at that point. I'm walking
Yeah.
away. But with this in mind, this is it right here, right now. For all the marbles, the end of the season, Super Bowl prediction: Chiefs, Eagles.
I'm taking the Chiefs.
Wow. Ooh, spicy. Okay, reasonings.
I'm gonna go. What's that?
Reasonings.
Reasoning. Patrick Mahomes is the better quarterback for being able to change on the fly. I think as much as the Eagles have changed this year, I think we have to remember last year in the wild card round, they looked like a joke against Tampa Bay Buccaneers that were starting their descend. Yes, things can change, and the Eagles can look a lot better this year. And then obviously the Eagles organization as a whole has done a really good job of adding pieces to you know the plate that will help the job get done. But I think the Chiefs have the experience in Super Bowl. I don't think any Eagles players are on this team. Oh no, there is a couple on this team from the last Super Bowl. Not as many as the Chiefs have.
Chiefs have been the more recently, so
the more recently, yeah.
There's more players.
I think with the experience for the Chiefs, I think this gives them the option to, or give them the advantage to be able to change during the game and overcome adversity, I think, a little better than I think the Eagles. I think if you think about how the Eagles lost this year, it was just total confusion for the Eagles. The teams that beat them just made it difficult for them. Steve Spagnuolo on the Chiefs defense is going to make it difficult, I think, for Jalen Hurts. So I kind of like I'm going Chiefs here.
Okay. Hey, that's all very fair reasoning. And I think my major concern for the Eagles is as much as it's been over talked this entire season, is the easier schedule the Eagles have had. I mean, even just the playoffs, they had to face the Giants, who, the Giants have played well, but I mean, they're not on the same level as the Eagles or like any top teams in the league. And then they go up against the 49ers, who have been playing very well. And I can't say anything bad about the Niners, but within like a half a quarter, Brock Purdy's out for the game, and now they're facing Josh Johnson. And at one point, for a little while, Christian McCaffrey was playing quarterback after he got hurt. So, I mean, they haven't faced major adversity for most of the season. And maybe that has just gotten their confidence so high that at this point they don't care who they face. And people have been talking about that aspect for so long. They're just like, we don't care. We're good. We've won so many games. We're amazing. No matter who the opponent is. I absolutely adore the spark that this Eagles team has. I think I'm on the minority side. I absolutely love Nick Sirianni. People say he's like unprofessional. He's not a great coach. He's just got a good team. His fieriness. If he was on anyone else's team who talked smack, they would love him, because he's not like your prototypical coach. Like, he is just like a crazy man. He's like, well, he's who we thought Dan Campbell would be based off of some of his press conferences. Like, he's just a wild animal on the sideline, which I love, and it matches the personality of the Eagles team. So I will be taking the Eagles in this matchup. I will be. I feel like the only reason they're favorites right now is because of Patrick Mahomes' injury. I do not think that'll play as big of a part in this. Even though I said earlier, no, it could play a part. I don't think it'll play a major part. I think if he gets sacked a weird way and it kind of re-injures a little bit, or acts up, like come the fourth quarter, who knows how many hits he might have taken. It might make a difference come later in the game if it's feeling sore. We'll see. Those halftime pain meds wear off.
Yeah.
And then last but not least, we must remember that this is Andy Reid coaching. And we know his history with the Eagles in the Super Bowl is not good. So maybe, even though he's coaching the Super Bowl well with the Cheifs, now he's facing his old team. Maybe some PTSD stirs up. A couple of bad coaching calls here and there. Andy Reid is actually the one who cost the Chiefs the Super Bowl. Ooh, spicy.
Ooh,
spicy. I like that. So we were on completely opposite sides of who we're going to be in the Super Bowl, and now we're on opposite sides of who will be winning the Super Bowl. Maybe I'll go 3-0.
Maybe,
you'll take me down and be 2-1. I mean, either team can win this. This is I'm 51% on the Eagles right now. It's
right.
I think it'll be a great game. It's a great matchup. Very excited. But once this game is over, we will also have some XFL to look forward to.
Yeah.
I am a Seattle Dragons fan. Seattle Sea Dragons, I think, is their official name.
I think so, yeah.
And then you kind of got dicked out of your team, so...
Yeah, so the original XFL back in 2020, I went with New York Guardians. They moved to Orlando, and I'm just not feeling it still. I'm not feeling it anymore. So I'm going to go with the San Antonio Brahmas.
Whoa, you picked your new team. Okay.
Yeah, I got the website open right now. So a fun fact about this team that I did not know until about 45 minutes ago.
Okay.
Their head coach is former Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver Hines Ward.
Whoa. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's their quarterback? Jack Cohen and Juwan Pass and Reid Sinnett are their three quarterbacks. I don't know any of them.
I don't know either, but that's who I'm going to go with.
All right. Hey, you got a team now. That's cool.
Yeah.
I do enjoy the Seattle Sea Dragons because their quarterback is Ben DiNucci.
So, you got the DiNucci.
I got the DiNucci. Very big fan of that. So that's going to be the XFL. Looking forward to that. And then we have the USFL coming up as well. We have a whole offseason of football. It's going to be amazing. So the USFL, I had to leave the Pittsburgh Maulers because they collapsed to peer pressure. And the reason I picked the Pittsburgh Maulers was because of their purple and orange uniforms. I thought it was amazing.
Right.
It was super cool and just way out there. And then they go and we heard you. And we want to stick with the tradition that is Pittsburgh. So now we're just going to be every color of every other stupid Pittsburgh team out here and just go with black and gold. So it's so boring. It's so stupid. No, I'm out. I haven't picked a new team yet. I'm currently leaning Houston Gamblers, but I have not made an official decision yet.
I think there's a new team, though.
Is it new? USFL
what is this team?
Teams. Let's see. We have the Pittsburgh Maulers, Philadelphia Stars, New Orleans Breakers, New Jersey Generals, Michigan Panthers, Memphis Showboats. That was my other team. That's
a newer team.
That is a new team. And
that
then the Houston
was not
Gamblers
a team
and
last
Birmingham
year.
Stallions. Yeah, the Showboats and the Gamblers are my two options currently.
I wonder who the Showboats replaced.
I don't remember.
The
Showboats were definitely not there last year. That's all I know.
They definitely weren't, and don't know who they replaced, but that's not a bad team to pick. I don't know. Memphis Showboats sounds kind of fun.
Let's see if we can pull up their starting quarterback, Cole Kelly of Southeastern Louisiana. Oh, they also have Brady White of Memphis. Those are the 2 quarterbacks they have. All right. They're running. Oh, they have Alex Collins, running back, Arkansas. He was a former Seahawk.
Oh, nice.
I think. Okay. Well, that might have just helped me lean a certain direction. I don't know. I'm going to have to look at the roster for the Gamblers. Oh, they also have Big Cat Bryant, defensive end out of UCF, I should say. Not UFC. I always get those backwards. All right. An official decision will be made before the season starts. I can guarantee you all that. And then they also announced that the Arena League, Football Arena League, will be making a return in 2024. So not this year, but we're going to have 3 other football leagues to pay attention to outside of the NFL. It does not get better than this.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. So, exciting times ahead. And obviously, the most exciting thing of all will be Derf will have children. Plural.
There will be children in this house.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I can see the anxiousness. It's not, I don't even know if it's nervousness. I look at you right now. I feel like it's the anxiousness, the anxiety.
Yeah.
Not like scared anxiety of just like, can we just do this already? Let's just get this started. Like, it's been 9 months. Can we just go?
Right?
Like, everyone keeps saying everything about all this. I just want it to be over with. So let's go.
Yeah.
So everybody, please say a prayer for Derf in the meantime. And just go ahead and follow at Derf and Dylan on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, wherever you really want. We're on all the platforms. Some of them are less active than others. While we head into this off season of Fans of the Weast, stay tuned for more content. And we have been your hosts for season 1 of Fans of the Weast,
Derf
and Dylan. Go Hawks and Sea Dragons.
Go Bills and Brahmas.